All right, Shalom, Israel. Another video, getting right into it, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kadash. Barakatah Yahweh Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle, elders, bishops, great millstone. My salutations to the brothers, teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be elect, most high will. The hopeful extended elect, Shalom blessings. We continue to exalt those names. Yahweh, He is to be, He exists. The Son, Yahweh Shai, He that delivers. We always say in the Holy Spirit. And, getting into this, America has the Golden Dome. Trump has talked about it. It's America's defense system. It says, can America's missile defense intercept a nuclear ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile? What we know about Trump's Golden Dome missile defense system. And you also have the Iron Dome, which is the Iron Dome is a mobile all-weather air defense system developed by Israel to intercept and destroy short-range rockets, artillery shells, and mortars. Thing about that is you can't intercept prophecy, and it's prophesied that missiles will hit this place. Now, they can argue all they want to about this being Babylon or not. We know it is in the spirit of the prophets, which they call the prophets of doom. Going to Second Esdras. Why doesn't it ever say? Okay, Second Esdras 1:1, I think. It says, let's make sure that's right. Second Esdras 16. It says in 1, it says, woe means destruction be unto thee, Babylon. That's America. In Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. This is spiritual Egypt. This is spiritual, all those captivities in one. This is the main core target for destruction concerning prophecy. An example to Edom and the rest of the nations. Gird up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? See? So you can't turn back those missiles coming to America. And all these nations, that, like we said in prophecy, they're going to hate the horde. They're going to shoot missiles at this place. They're going to get they have their cookie in the hand jar too. I said hand in the cookie jar too. It says, a fire is sent upon you, and who may quench it? And they're not going to be able to quench because, like we said too, according to prophecy as well, that the chariots are going to be beaming this place to hot cherry red too. It's the cherry on top, so to speak. Plagues are sent into you, and what is he that he may drive them away? And the plagues coming to this place is taking place now, even now, food, water, the air, it's all plagued. It's more plagues coming, and just like the plagues in Egypt, hopefully I get that scripture, because I don't want to make this long. I want to be edifying and, like Apostle Gabar always say, a few words but make it edifying. Many men may any man drive away an hungry lion in the woods? No. I don't care if you shooting at the lion. He gonna come at you. He gonna find a way to get you. You know, he'll wait until you sleep. You climb up a tree, you go to sleep. He'll wait till you come down. You know, it says, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it had begun to burn. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. Yeah, and the Most High, like he said, he'll put, oh God, he'll put the hooks in thy jaws and turn thee back to that old Soviet Union as a mighty archer. Now they're the second superpower, you know, and they're joining the BRICS, so they have a not only a military might, but they have a strong economic might too, which was a lot of the, well, I won't say a lot, but concerning the Cold War, you know, called the Cold War, no heat was used as far as nuclear warheads, whatever. There was more of a geopolitan meltdown that, you know, had America coming out as the better country. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, so that's why they called it a Cold War. But this is going to be hot. And Most High said it in the scriptures. He said, you know, is that Isaiah 9:5? He said, every war of the battle of man is fought with blood and rolled up garments, paraphrasing. But this is going to be fought with fuel of fire. So we are in the age of fuel of fire, nuclear capability and nuclear threats, you know, all over these countries. It says, the mighty Lord sending plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are trouble. You know how much spiritual stuff is about to happen, how much energetic field type of events, frequencies, rays clashing, you know, the waves of the sea, you know, triggered by earthquakes, you know. That has to do with vibration too. The platonic plates that clash under the earth to cause earthquakes. And that's, to me, the way I think of it is earth, you know, rebelling against even this so-called white man, because it says even the trees of Lebanon is going to rejoice when this man goes down. So it has to do, and it says all the foundations are out of course, foundations of the earth out of course. So nature has been, so to speak, not only agitated, but, you know, somewhat polluted, you know, by this man, you know, to where things are not even right naturally anymore. Frequencies off, you know, the balance of things off. Nothing's balanced. And Most High said he hates a false balance. So, you know, and he said, you know, the balance of Most High balancing it out too. Overall, he's the Father of spirits. He balanced it out. He put Satan against Satan, so he cannot stand. You know, he put a superpower against a superpower. And they both have equal So to speak, strength of superpower strength, and they're gonna both destroy each other. You know, but the ones that remain, of course, they're gonna be under subjection of the extraterrestrial Israelites. But it says Psalms to bind their nobles and their kings with feathers of iron, and you know, it says the sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are trouble, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. And you know those chariots cause they high frequency, unbelievable levels of power that's undeniable and cannot be detected by physical means, and even Esau's army, or any other army. You can't, they have no power against them. Those are the Most High spiritual vehicles, known as chariots. So they cause, vibrations in the earth that could shake up the earth, that could shake up the wind. Enhance the wind, start cyclones, tornadoes, hurricanes. Because Esau got so much, he got a limit to the power. This is his physical rulership that the Most High has given him for a short time. He only got limited power here. He can reach great heights on a physical level, but that's it. And even that shall be brought down. So it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. And the Most High is orchestrating this. Angels guiding these missiles. They're not gonna turn back. Even if there was a malfunction, they're still gonna reach it, because they're guided. And this is prophecy, man. Behold, the plagues are sin and shall not return again till they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till they consume the foundation of the earth. Like an arrow, as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, man. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginnings of famine and great death, beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, which shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, man. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, man. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and it says it's worse to die by famine than by the sword. And other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, man. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. So that's what's coming to this American place, man. This is going to be a wasteland, and that's why I think mainly they call us the prophets of doom, because of that. It's obvious. Just say, look how much money they spent. Trump says Golden Dome defense system to cost $175 billion, man. And you can't buy. When it comes to prophecy, when it comes to what the Most High is doing, you can't buy yourself to safety, you know? And they even, I mean, if they were so sure of their missile defense system, why do they have a underground, why do they have, what do you call it, underground tunnels, caverns for safety, you know? And it clearly says in the scriptures that, you know, in Israel got an Iron Dome missile defense system, short-range missile for short-range missiles, and you know many other threats, and then you know they're allies with America. The Most High didn't say anything about the children of Israel having a missile defense system. It says, "You shall not be saved by the hand of man." Paraphrasing, the arm of man. You know, you shall not be saved. Let me see. I'll get that scripture right quick. Israel shall not be saved by the hand of man. King James Version. Well, woe to him that make flesh his arm. King James Version. It says, Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. Yeah, make flesh his arm with armies. That's what this missile defense system is. You know, it's because what it say? It says Isaiah 45:17. I think it says, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." You know, and they use it, say that in church all the time. Probably still does. They probably still do. You know, but really, what does that really mean? Because it says, I mean, we're still in this flesh, chains of darkness, where enemy is able to come against us. I mean, they building. You know, they have built war, army against us, which we have no army. I mean, you know, so make that make sense. But they know that men it's prophesied that they get spiritual power, and we've talked about it that when they come in like a flood, Most High shall lift up a standard against them. So they got frequency radars, frequency detection with their devices to detect frequencies, detect movements, detect. You know, they want to get inside your mind to detect your thoughts, even dealing with high level power, high level thinking, so to speak, you know, to where they'll make moves to do such things, you know, because these people, like, they're sheep to the slaughter, like these people on earth, they're cattle, you know, so all they want to do is just have a cool little crib to live in, and and try to go along with the system to vote the better man in, you know, but they don't even, a lot of them just starting to wake up, or still don't know that it's operated by an elite system, elite body of men, you know, that's aiming for a system to control all the citizens, pretty much everywhere on earth, world domination. And they're going to do it through this MOTB. And it says also, you shall be redeemed without. No, I don't want that. What else do I want? There's no escape from the wicked. For the wicked, there is no escape. King James Version. It says, Job 11:20. But the eyes of the wicked shall fall, and they shall not escape, and their hope shall be as the giving up of the ghost. Yeah. So they're not going to be able to build any defense system that they're going to be escape their damnation, their their outcome, which is already written in the scriptures. So, I don't know what. I haven't looked up. I don't know if they even share the information about, the inside information about this Golden Dome. What it does, how sure it is, how promising it is for safety. Without nobody getting harmed. It says President Donald Trump vowed that a Golden Dome missile defense shield should be fully operational by the end of his term. So yeah, $175 billion in vain. It says, why did the heathen rage, and why do they imagine a vain thing? So, they're really, they don't believe in the Bible. And anytime they put up, what it says, let this Most High will defend us. He says, Jacob, because Jacob's defenseless. Thou worm Jacob, I will help thee. He said he will help us, not a defense system. Our thing is defending the gospel. But, these things have become in man's mind to play out prophecy. Just like Pharaoh thought he was going to continue to rule, and his army got drowned in the Red Sea. Just like all these captivities before America had flourished for a time and had come to their end. Just like Rome building up to flourish and had been divided, and through that division it had never been the same before. Even though they came back into Renaissance and the rebirth, it still ain't never been that same Rome. That's why they say, Trump might as well say, make Rome a great again. Because they do it in the practice of these old kingdoms, but their main, thing is they'll stick with Rome, because it's the last of. If you go into the Greek, we can get into that later. But if you go into the Greek Empire, the first Greeks were Edomites. So, and you had the Hellenistic age, and Greek, political figures that were Jakes also, and so if they want world control, well, America is probably as close as they can get to Rome, revised as they can. That's why apostles always go into this last leg of Rome. The feet, we're in the feet now with miry clay, iron and miry clay. And it's funny that, the alliance of America with Israel, that America has a golden dome and Israel has an iron dome, and iron was a very popular element for wars in the height of Rome's empire, But I don't know. That's just me, ringing a bell, so to speak. It's not a breakdown, but it just makes me think. But anyway, and this is that's from Bloomberg News. But like I said, going back to making America great again. It should be making Rome great again. And this is their last chance, last hurrah. This is the end all, the be all, to where they have to make the best decisions. They have to, make the best move. In the height of this chess game, they have to use the best pieces, and for the best outcome. But we already know the outcome because it's already written. So I might name this, the Golden Dome defense system will fail, and then because it is written. Anyway, and what did it say? Will not complete their enterprise. Let me get that. Will not complete their enterprise. King James Version. I'm paraphrasing. I always forget that word is used. Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprises. And this Golden Dome is a device, and it's even in this to perform, surety and safety of America as a whole. Really them, because they're not really concerned about the American citizens. And they know it's probably closer to anarchy than it ever was before with their own citizens, closer to civil war as it ever been with their own citizens. So, yeah, when they come down with martial law and all that, they're not going to only arrest Israelites, even though we're the main target, especially the men of the Lord. They're gonna be arresting these Edomites too, and some of these other nations, because you know how rebellious Edomites are. They're known for rebellion. They rebelled against the Most High. So, they're not gonna. A lot of them are not gonna go for it. But anyway, in any case, whatever happens is meant to happen. Shalom, hope it is edifying. To the next video.